We have all played on a claw machine and almost won again and again and again when we get the feeling of it's impossible to win. So I have decided to make my own claw machine where I can win every time.
But the thing is, I don't even know how to build a claw machine, but the only way to figure that out is to start building.
So I have already made a video where I started building the claw machine. It started with me getting the claw. I made sure everything worked before I started designing the box. I started building it and putting everything together quite quickly, secured the drop zone and put on the bottom layer. I screwed the last wall in and prepared for the bottom and joist. And then I tested it to make sure everything worked. And it did.
Then came the hard parts. I thought it would be the easy part to just
Put the last things together, paint it, make it look good, but turns out we would run into some problems here.
But before we get to that, let's enjoy some building.
So next day I finished up all the parts, the joystick hole,
The display hole, the button hole.
glued the board in and then screwed it in. And then I cut out the opening for the electronics. Cut out the board to hold all the electronics. And placed a plank under it to hold it up when I screwed it in.
Looks good. And now we're gonna screw the whole board in and glue it stuck here. Now it's looking a lot more stable.
And then I had to put something here to stop the claw from running into the wall.
That should be all good.
I had to make sure everything fit before I start puttying the claw machine and painting it.
The button fit now. It's just time to putty everything up. This is the first time we're gonna putty something this big. So I already knew this is gonna take a long time, but it's gonna take a long time. Alright, it's starting to look like something. Almost one wall done. Alright, so we have put putty all over the inside. The inside is all done. And now we're gonna finish all the outside. Alright, so we put all the putty on.
So it was now time to screw in the back door.
And there we go, now we can open and close it.
Then I need to make the roof. Screw it together, cut off the screws, and putty it.
Alright, the roof is puttied and done.
I had to saw off some parts to make sure my 3D printed cover would actually fit.
Drill a hole here for the wires to go all the way up to the claw. Big enough, and we're gonna 3D print something to go all the way and cover this.
Then I designed the thing that would cover up all the cables. I cut it up and 3D printed it out. So first I 3D printed out a small version to see how it looks, and then a big version. And here we ran into a problem. Since this was my first time printing with PG, I didn't know the limits and realized I would never be able to cut this out by hand. So I had to make some adjustments. I made a thin shell out of it and started with printing out the top part to measure out the holes. And I still put the holes at the wrong place, so I had to 3D print it again.
I forgot this was upside down on the slicer. I think it's good now.
With that done, I started to print out all the rest of the parts. And some were not looking good, some were looking good.
This one looks even better.
So I glued all the parts together, which was a real struggle. So I had to use this to hold it together. And while I was filming, my future wife came in to disturb me.
Hope this will do the trick.
I also designed some other parts that I want 3D print, like the coin dispenser to make the coin roll back out again so you can play again. The cover for the prize hole. And a hatch, where I messed up the hinges, so I had to 3D print out the hinges again. And hurt myself while doing it. I also designed a cover for the joystick. Made it a little bit too small first time, but next time it was perfect. So with all the 3D printed parts done, it was time to finish up the claw machine and paint it. And stupid as I am, I thought I could spray paint it. But after half a bottle and only one wall down, I realized I have to buy some paint and actually paint it with a roller. And when I painted it the first time, I forgot to buy a brush. So when I painted the second time, I had to bring a brush and finish up all the corners. So with all that done, it was time to cut out the windows and put the windows in. And I screwed the windows in with some small screws. So I then screwed in the drop zone cover and realized, oh, I will have struggle screwing in the hatch now. But with some gymnastics, I got it screwed in. So when you put on the cover, it looks really good. Made a hole for the coin dispenser and made sure it's aligned. Then I put the joystick, display and button in to see how it looks, and suddenly my package with 80 plushies arrived.
Looks like it's gonna explode just looking at it.
So I opened it to see all the plushies, and they looked really good actually. Then we were ready to try the claw machine. I plugged it in and tested it out. And as I thought, everything is done, it looks great, all is good. My heart sunk when I realized the claw didn't move to the left. So I tested it again, and it still wouldn't move to the left. But I actually were a bit devastated, but I figured out that some electronic parts of the claw machine often actually malfunction under 10 degrees Celsius. So I thought hopefully in a few days it will be fine. So I removed all the electronics and moved it inside to wait for it to warm up again. And meanwhile I put my mind on other things, 3D printers and small things that would hold the magnets that also would hold the door in place. I placed a white LED strip to light it up, and then I placed a blue LED strip to give it more color. And then I glued in the cover for the cables and put it all together and tried it out. And as I thought, everything is good. The claw went to the left as I started it, but then it stopped going left again. And after some tries, it got stuck in the top, so I had to cut off the wire and fix it. And I also bought a micro switch to see if that was the problem, but it wasn't. After some pulling and pushing on the motherboard, somehow it started working again. But I don't know when it will stop going left again, and I don't know what's going on really. But at least now it works! And so I put everything together and tried it out. Well, except for the display. Somehow the display is messed up, but that's not the point. Everything else works now. And we are happy. So now I can win every time I want. So let's enjoy watching me win again. And again. If that one person is still here, I want to thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please comment that you watched it all.